Hello princesses! Today I'm going to be talking about the Clio Nudism Velvetwear Foundation. I picked this up because I really seem to like Clio based products, but for some reason the colours do not suit me whatsoever. They're just not quite yellow enough for me personally, and they don't make a very huge variety, which is really disappointing. So I really wanted to try out another type of foundation because I just finished one of the Clio products. I think it was in one of my last empties, and I haven't finished a liquid foundation product in literally so long, you have no idea. So I was definitely interested in more base products by Clio. I really just wish that they would make more than 3 or 4 shades, because that really is not enough shades for anybody really. So for this one, the product description says, the foundation filled with flat hexagonal particles that perfectly conceal blemishes to present a flawless, smooth finish. The long-lasting formula absorbs the excess sebum to stay true to colour while leaving a velvet-like soft touch of skin. I don't know why, for some reason I just could not say hexagonal. I think I just wasn't expecting the word hexagonal to be in that sentence. So the packaging of this product is very elegant. It comes in a glass bottle and it has a pump top. For this one, it does come in a big box because it also comes with a brush, as per pretty much all of Clio's products. They almost always come with a brush, which is mildly annoying because if I wanted to repurchase the product every time, I would get a new brush, and I don't think that I need a new brush every single time I need a new foundation, but that's just my thoughts anyway. The brush itself is actually quite nice. I do actually prefer applying this foundation with the brush over anything else, which is pretty new for me. Generally, I apply everything with a cushion puff because that's just my preferred method of application for most things. I got the lighter shade this time, which is Lingerie. It is a fairly light colour, but it is definitely a little bit more pink toned than I would prefer. I would like it if it was slightly more yellow, but even the next shade up, which was Linen, and the other one that I tried, that one wasn't super yellow either. That was my problem with it too. It was like a good tone. It was like a good lightness. It wasn't too dark, but it wasn't quite yellow enough, which is generally my problem. So here are my remaining foundations in December, so the collection has reduced a bit. So this is the NARS Sheer Glow in Siberia, which is my perfect shade. Then we have the Etude House Double Lasting Serum Foundation in the shade Y03 Ivory. The Holika Holika Hard Cover Glow Foundation in the shade Ivory. The Marmonde Stay All Day Foundation in the shade number 13, which I think is Porcelain. This is the Anna Sui Liquid Foundation in the shade Alabaster. The Misha Radiance Foundation in the lighter shade. This one is the Piri Pira Ink Drop Lasting BB in the lighter shade. This is the Clio Nudism Velvetwear Foundation in the shade Lingerie. This one is the Piri Pira Ink Lasting Easy Blurring BB Cream. This is the Laneige BB Pore Control Cushion in the shade 11. This is the Lily by Red Cushion Foundation from Esther Bunny Loves You in a lighter shade. And then the last one is the Up You Wonder Cushion in the Fox print. So you can definitely see a discrepancy with the Clio foundation. It's a lot more sort of like orangey or pink. The Piri Pira doesn't look too bad in comparison, but it is a lot more orange if you compare it to some of the more perfect shades down here, which are definitely more yellow leaning, even the more beige ones. Okay, so for this one, I'm actually going to apply it in 2 separate ways because it does come with its own brush, which I used yesterday and is still dirty, but it'll be fine. So I'm going to use the brush on this side of my face and show you guys what it looks like, and then I'm going to use a cushion puff on the other side of my face as well. So all I do is I put it on the back of my hand, being really careful because it is quite runny, and then I'm going to pick some up with the foundation brush and I'm going to apply over most of my face in a very rough sort of way. So the colour is not super great. It is quite pink toned, which is a shame. It is a good light colour though. Last time I had a Clio product, I got shade number 2, which I think is called, I don't know. One of them's called Linen. I think the next one's called Lingerie. No, this one is called Lingerie. Yeah. The lightest one is called Lingerie, which is what I have at the moment. That one is a cool toned colour. And then the next one was called Linen, which is shade number 2. And that was a little bit warmer, but it was still kind of quite cool toned. Like, it wasn't quite right for me. But I did use up all of the one that I had last time, which was really, really good. Like, it was close enough. So that is what the foundation looks like on one side of my face. I find that the brush applicator is actually pretty good. I don't normally like brush applicators whatsoever, but I feel like this one actually does a really nice job at blending the foundation without having streaky lines. So the colour is a little off, but it looks pretty good on camera, I think. So then on the other side, I'm going to use my cushion puff. This one is a Misha cushion puff. And basically I'm just going to pat the product in like this. I think that for this one I probably prefer the brush application, because the thing that I don't like about brushes usually, or products that I use with brushes, is that they have lots and lots of brush strokes. But I actually think that this one works better with the brush, which isn't surprising because it was obviously formulated to be applied with the brush. I think that when I use a cushion puff, somehow, I don't know how, I get less coverage on that side, which is pretty strange. Maybe because the cushion is absorbing, maybe because the cushion is absorbing more of the product itself. So if you see both sides of my face, I think that you can probably tell a difference in terms of coverage. I feel like this side has less coverage, while this side has more. So this is the side with the cushion puff. I can still see a lot of redness, and those are not scars, but I think they're kind of like, I think they might be veins. Ugh. And then on this side you can still see some little parts, but that sort of thing on my cheek up here is fully covered, because there's normally one like right there. You can just see it. On the chin you can definitely see more scars on this side because there are more scars on this side. There's a heavier scar here, but I feel like it's, you know, been fine covered up, but that could be definitely better. And of course there is that little scar on my chin here too. That one's pretty fresh. You can definitely see a big difference on my forehead, which is the most consistent part of my skin, because my chin generally scars, but my forehead doesn't so much. But I can definitely see a difference in coverage between this side, which is the brush side, and this side, which there's a cushion puff. There are two lines here, two wrinkles that aren't on the other side. That doesn't make a difference, but that's fine. So I'm going to powder my skin just a little bit. When I touch my face it does feel slightly sticky, but there's a little bit coming off my fingertips as well, so it's not bad but not great. And then I will check in with you guys throughout the day. So I've had the foundation on for 11 hours now. Actually it's almost 12 hours because I put it on at 8 in the morning and now it's 8 p.m. 10 minutes to 8. Close enough. And it is looking okay. There is some oil through the T-zone, so my nose is a little bit shiny. My chin, you can see that the patch where I have a little pimple is wearing off a little bit. The forehead looks, the forehead looks okay actually. I mean, it's been hidden under all of the fringe, so I guess I haven't been touching it. Overall, for the amount of time that it's been on, it looks pretty good. It does look a little bit dry though, I have to say. So for this foundation, I'm still kind of on the fence because I actually, unsurprisingly, really like the formula. So it applies really nicely, really easily. I prefer using a brush to do the application, even though normally for me, brushes would leave a super streaky sort of finish. This one actually doesn't for me, which is really, really lovely. And I really like the way that it looks on my skin, as long as I don't have any dry skin. I have noticed that if I have any dry patches, it is going to accentuate it just a little bit because it does have that sort of semi-matte finish, but it's not too bad. The other thing is that it doesn't do a huge amount for my pores, as in they look the same as they normally look. They don't look any more like invisible. They're not more covered up than they normally would be. So in terms of pore care or anything like that, it's not really that great. I feel like I'm just listing things that I don't like about the foundation now instead of things that I do like. There definitely are things that I do like. It does look really pretty on the skin. I'm wearing it at the moment and it does look really natural, so it does have a little bit of coverage. I've got like a couple of, like a pimple and a scar here at the moment, so there's a little bit of coverage but it's not a huge amount, so it just does look really nice on the skin like most Clio products do for me. I think probably for me this is not one that I'm going to keep just because it's not a great colour match, although obviously on camera of course it doesn't actually look that bad. You can see a slight difference in terms of my neck looks like a little bit more yellow, a little bit more dark. And then my face looks a little bit more bright, a little bit more pink, but it's a pretty tolerable difference. Overall, I think it is a product that I might not keep but would recommend, mostly because I'm trying to get rid of a bunch of products at the moment, so if I wasn't trying to get rid of a whole bunch of stuff, I probably might keep it. But I am, so it might be on the way out. But I do think that it is a really lovely foundation. It makes my skin look beautiful. There are definitely some downsides, but the longevity for me is okay and it makes my skin look very nice and natural. So I definitely recommend it to any princesses that are looking for that more natural look and something that's still got a bit of a glow to it, but it's not sticky to the touch and it's kind of more on the semi-matte side, which is quite nice. It's kind of harder to find that kind of finish in a foundation in the KPD world anyway. So thank you guys so much for watching and I will see you in the next one.